Oh yeah, so there we go. Okay,
Here we
that's
are.
that looks like we are live and we are in good health.
Yes, thankfully, the year is off to a busy start. We have only started this first episode in February, past mid-February.
Today is 17th of February, so yeah, we should have started in January, but guys, it was a rough month, So
Yeah,
it's good to be back. It's good to
yeah.
be back, and yeah. So how are you, my friend? Everything okay? Are you all right?
Yes, I am good. Good to see you. It's been a minute since we spoke. I'm excited to be back. How is
Fantastic.
2023 so far?
2023 is like, you know, is like a lot of things.
Yeah,
2023 is like a lot of things.
yeah.
It's a
Tell
lot
me
of
about it.
things, but it's going on well. It's
Mm-hmm.
going on well, and I
Yeah.
must say that there are lots of things to learn. I think there are lessons to learn as I'm looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to tonight's session. But
Mm-hmm.
because 2023 has been one of those years where things are happening, and we have
Yeah.
Derek joining us. Good evening, Derek. Derek is a regular here. It's always nice to see you. I can always count on Derek. It's good to
Yeah.
have you, Derek. So, guys,
Yeah.
please share the video with your colleagues as we begin to of course,
Yeah.
discuss this important issue. Share with those you care about, okay? But just for me to be sure, like myself, let me just hear myself. Sometimes it's good to hear yourself.
Yeah. I'm just sharing it.
Can you hear me properly? Tell us what if you can able to hear us, guys. That would be fantastic. It's always nice. So, guys, thank you so very much for joining us. It's been a Lozarin. I'm happy to see you. I can always count on Lozarin. All right. It's always good to
Yeah.
see you. Please share the video with those who care about. Share the
Yeah.
video. Share the video with those who care about, and that would be quite amazing if you guys can share the video as we talk about this important subject, of course, which will lead us into some personal issues, important elements of growth. So I'm looking forward to this, Bupe. So Bupe, let's begin. We're talking
Let's
discipline
begin.
over motivation. So
Yes.
I
But
want to
before
hear
we,
from you, Bupe.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear from you, Bupe.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
How
before
about
we
you, Bupe?
begin, I'm good. I'm doing very well. 2023 was off to a difficult start for me because I was in bed and I was sick literally the whole of January. But I am fit and back. I've even gained some weight. I'm very happy about that.
I have seen that. I have seen that you've gained, my friend. Big
Yeah,
Mose
yeah,
is
I
doing
have.
an amazing job. Okay, kudos to you, my
Yeah.
brother. May God bless you for
How
keeping our
is it?
sister very well. I'm telling you,
I had to work
it's
hard
him,
to
Bope. You look
eat.
so good.
Thank
Come on,
you.
Bope.
I'm quite happy.
Don't
I
take the
can't lie
credit.
about that.
Yeah,
But it was me who was
I've
eating,
seen.
to be fair.
I today I was looking at your status, Bope, and I
Yeah.
saw you and yeah, you spoiled Big Mose, Bope. You spoiled my
This
brother, my friend.
this was the whole point. This was the whole point. Okay, let's get into some quick icebreakers, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I have three questions for you this evening to get us started, even
All
though you
right.
clearly already have us started. What is the one
Yeah.
thing that you bought this year that you are happy about?
The one thing I bought myself some microphones. I'm so happy
Yeah,
about that. I
that's
bought
awesome.
microphones because they're going to add value to our podcasts. We want to launch professionally, broadcasted podcasts. So I took time
Yeah,
to buy some microphones. They're coming from the US, and they should be in any day from now. So I'm very
I'm
happy about
excited
that.
about that. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy about that. So,
Yeah.
what's the second one is what's the best piece of advice you have ever been given? Okay, maybe not
This year,
ever, but what is your favorite piece of advice?
to accept my limitations. I think that
Sorry?
advice has stuck with me. To accept my limitations, my personal limitations. I think
Accept my limitations. Okay.
Yeah, I think that advice has really helped me to
Mhm.
understand that I can't be great at everything, and I can't make
Mhm.
everybody happy.
Yeah.
It has helped me to also grow. I
Hmm.
think that's the
I
best
like
thing
that.
I've been taught this year, to accept my limits. I was like I told you last time, I'm more
Yeah.
of a perfectionist sometimes,
Mm.
because I want things to be done a certain way. I want to do a good job. Every time I do, I want it to be, I'm never satisfied with, small jobs. But
Mm.
now, being told that I have to be aware of my limitations and accept my limitations has really changed me in a lot of ways. Now, if I don't do something very well, I just say, you know what, it's fine. I can do better next time. I don't have to beat myself so much, because I'm
Mm.
not perfect. I don't know everything. And just thinking about the fact that I don't know everything, that gives me a peace of mind. There's
Mhm.
something I'm good at that somebody's not good at. So I can't be good at everything. And that has
Yeah.
really comforted me this year. Yeah.
That's good. One last question.
Bring it on, my friend.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Today is the last day of your life. You're surrounded by people you love. What do you want them to remember about you?
I want them to remember me as to remember about me.
Yeah.
What about to remember? Come on,
What 3 things would you like them to remember about you?
Number one, I would like them to remember that I'm somebody who has a heart for the people. I think I love people genuinely. I'm a person that takes personal interest in people. I want to see my friends succeed. I want them to remember me as a person who was very much forgiving. I think I'm forgiving, Bope. you know
I
you
think
know
so.
uh, when people offend me, I think now there's a change of mindset. I don't really
Mhm.
keep it for a very long time. I'm very forgiving, and
Mhm.
also I'm very frank. I'm
Yeah.
honest. So I like to somebody to remember me, as somebody who was very much loving, high heart for the people, forgiving, and sincere.
I love
Yeah.
that. Okay. So are you ready now to get into the evening? And would you like to introduce our topic for tonight?
Yeah, so we're looking at motivation over discipline over motivation. And why are you asking me these questions, Bupe?
Sorry, I lost you there.
Why are you asking me these questions?
Why?
Hmm.
No, it's just to get the conversation started. You know how when you are
How would you
exercising,
like to be
you
remembered? Tell us three things. Three things. How would you like to be remembered?
pardon?
If today was the last day, what would you like people to remember about you?
I just hope that they felt my presence and my intent to be good, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I just hope that ultimately, I'm not sure there's anything specific I'd like them to remember about me, but like I just want them to know that they mattered to me. And I hope that I communicated that. Like for instance, if today was my last day, I would like you to know that truth and transformation mattered. And I hope that every time we're discussing the episodes or what we're about to when we're about to talk about and when we are planning, I hope that every time I have a conversation with people or when we agree to do something, they can see my heart and that what we're doing matters. So like if for every encounter or whoever I'm surrounded by, if they shared with me something to them, I just hope that they felt my heart and that it was genuine toward them and that at least they had one friend. you know if
Okay.
anything. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, how about you, Bupe?
Yeah.
Discipline over motivation.
Yes, so you give it to us, sir.
So now we're talking about discipline over motivation. How is
Mhm.
this important now that we are, this is February, we're in January, we are so we are happy, we are
Mm,
setting goals. Now we're in February. How is this topic relevant for somebody today in February? Discipline over motivation.
mm,
I'd like you to share some of the three disciplines you like to that are helping you to commit to this year.
mhm,
And also, I'm also going to share mine. For example, I think I've been able to learn a lot from one of the things that has helped me to go through this is commitment.
Mhm.
I think, when you start the year, Bupe, you're excited, you write goals, you sit down with family, you want to be the best version of yourself. You want to do what is
Mhm.
good for yourself and for those that you love, your family, your wife, your children, your loved ones. But sometimes it becomes difficult to do those things for people you love. And that's very
Yeah.
painful. Every man wants what's best for his family.
Mhm.
Every woman what's best for her family. But if you can't
Absolutely.
provide, you can't do what's best for your family, sometimes very stressful, right?
Yeah.
But also, all of us, we want to progress in life. We want to move forward. We want to feel that, we are doing something meaningful with our lives. So sometimes we fail, all right? We fail, and
Mhm.
that may break us, may make us feel less important, sometimes even useless, because in January we're excited, in December we're writing down goals, and 2 months down the line we are nowhere near achieving our goals. We don't even know how to start. That can be very
Mhm.
stressful. So for me, I think what has helped me when I talk about discipline over motivation, I think for me what motivates me are the results. I'm the kind of person that focuses so much on the outcome. I think in my mind, I make it a habit to focus more on the result than the process to the result. All right. Focusing on the results helps me to overcome obstacles. So, for example, one of the disciplines I like to share with my friends here is that commitment is one thing that has helped me a lot. I sat myself down and I said, okay, fine. How was my 2022? It was awesome. I enjoyed my 2022. I think it was one of my best years. And I was telling myself, did I achieve everything I wanted to achieve in 2022? No, I didn't. There's a lot of things I wanted to do, but I was not able to do because sometimes I was limited financially. Sometimes I didn't have enough time. I didn't have resources. I didn't have enough collaborations. So this year, I told myself, I'm going to commit. I'm committing myself to greatness. And I committed myself to greatness. I have a group called Greatness, and there are people there that we are doing mentorship with. Every weekend, every week Sunday, we meet to talk. So commitment to me as a discipline means when you commit, you must take action. All right. So commitment means taking action. Commitment means even if the circumstances change, commitment means you're going to go ahead. Even though everything else tells you don't wake up, don't stand up, don't move, commitment means you're going to do it anyway because you've committed. So commitment is about integrity. Commitment is about keeping your word. Commitment is about focusing on the greater good. Commitment means being able to forego the short-term benefit for the greater good in the future. So commitment means everything to me. Commitment is so important that if somebody is not committed, they can't do anything in their life. And I see also in relationships. I told myself this year I'm gonna commit more. I'm going to commit more. And I think I've committed more this year. Whatever I said I'm going to do, I'm doing it. I'm trying to do whatever I said I'm going to do. But again, commitment means you have to be flexible. Sometimes you commit to something and it's not working. Be flexible enough to do what to change the course. Don't commit to things that are bringing you down. So commitment has been one of my strongest pillars this year. Commitment
Mhm.
has helped me to overcome obstacles, but also commitment has helped me to learn more about myself. Because when you commit, it teaches you something about yourself. Commitment signifies integrity. Commitment builds trust in your personal trust because I've now learned to trust myself even more. I've committed to a number of things. For example, I said, okay, I'm gonna take my health very seriously. I'm gonna commit to the gym, and I got myself a coach, a fitness trainer. Every morning I wake up, I go to the gym. That's commitment. Sometimes I'm tired. My muscles I have a muscle cramp. I don't want to wake up because I'm just so tired. I said, what? I've committed to my health. Let me go to the gym, and I go to the gym. So it gives me a sense of fulfillment. You know what? I've done something meaningful for myself. I committed to improving my health. All right. And I'm now going to the gym every morning. That little success means a lot for me because it's something I committed to. And I realized that my health is more important than anything else. I can't enjoy my money without my health. So what do I do? Let me commit myself. So I committed myself. So commitment as a discipline, Bupe, has really helped me this year. Sometimes I
That's
feel
powerful.
I feel sad, all right? Sometimes things don't work according to the plan. There are times where I find myself so sad, stressed. I don't know what to do. And I'm just thinking, God help me. But I always focus on the reward. Why did I start doing this? Even when you're helping people, do you know that's a commitment? I made a commitment to helping people. And sometimes the people we help don't even appreciate it. They will stress you a lot for helping them. That's
Yeah.
commitment, Bupe. Somebody helping is disrespecting you, even insulting you, even coming out in a very bad way over a very simple thing.
Mm.
And then you feel so bad. Let me just quit this thing. But then you remember, I committed myself to this. All right. Let me go on with it because it's a commitment. So commitment helps you to grow. I think I've grown mentally.
Mhm.
I've learned a lot about my health, my both mental health, physical health, but also just my levels of integrity. I think I feel more comfortable now than before because I've seen
Mm.
the things I commit to. I'm doing the best that I can to execute them. That's one of my disciplines this year.
I love
Guys, please
it.
share.
That's powerful. I love it. That's powerful. It's such a powerful way to start. Pressure. Thank you so much. But yeah,
Yes,
I
my
guess yeah, that's a lot of pressure. I am. Uh, when you were talking, a lot of thoughts were going in my head, and I'm just like, yeah, that's really good. And
yeah.
I was thinking, when, for instance, when we talk about motivation, what would you say the
Yes.
working definition of motivation would be for
Okay, so
you?
motivation for me means taking action. That's
Mm,
motivation. I don't subscribe to feelings because feelings
love
come
it.
and go. Sometimes you're
Mm,
gonna sit in a room with somebody who speaks so well, so eloquent, they have a nice accent, they speak
mhm,
so well, they are
yeah,
fluent,
yeah,
and then you are moved. Sometimes even
yeah,
cry. Those are
yeah,
feelings.
yeah.
Motivation for me means taking action. If you
Mm,
are motivated and you don't take action, you are just wasting your feelings and your emotions. Motivation means go home, sit down, plan, do something about it. That's motivation. I was
yeah.
motivated by some people in the past to do something about myself. I was motivated to improve myself. I did
Yeah.
something about my life. I didn't just have emotions, imagining what life could be. No, I did
Hmm.
something about it. That's motivation.
Yeah. I love it. I love that. So before I get into my number one, and my number one is clarity. I just thought I should also share a working definition of what discipline is. So it says here, I just Googled, it says it the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience, right? Now, I like this particular one. I mean, it's a bit grim, but I think when we think about discipline, and I'm thinking about it at a personal level, right? You're doing this to yourself, right? Training yourself to obey rules, but these are rules that you have set for yourself, like you're explaining about when you were going to the gym and your body is cramping and you don't want to do it, but you get up and do it anyway. It feels like you're punishing yourself, but you have set certain rules for yourself that you need to
Yeah,
abide by, and you are holding yourself accountable to that so that you are
yeah,
obedient to these rules for a bigger cause, right?
yeah,
So for me, something that helps me stay on track, stay disciplined, is having clarity, being clear about, for instance, if I'm going to the gym, why am I going? Right? If I am going to the gym because Shadrach is doing it, I bet in like a week or two, I'll be done with that. So for me, getting clarity is what helps me stay disciplined. Everything, for instance, when we come and do truth and transformation, what is the intention behind it, right? So
yeah,
we're very clear why we're doing this. Even when, for instance, we're
yeah,
planning this, it was like, what is the truth that we're dealing with today? The truth is, it's February. People were excited between December and January to set their goals, right? But
yes,
now we're in February. Life has happened, reality checks have happened. People still have the same income that they have had between December and now. So they are probably discouraged. But what is the truth? The truth is, what is the transformation? The transformation is the power still lies with me to increase my income if I don't like what it is now, right? If so my point is, ultimately clarity gives direction. So when it's clear in my mind why I'm going to the gym, and it's not as flimsy as because my good friend Shadrach does it, it means that I will most likely keep up with it. Like, my health is important. I want to live longer to see my children grow. Those are meaningful things. Getting clear on why I'm doing something helps me stay disciplined. So I also like what you were saying earlier. So for me, the way I perceive success, you already know this. Every one of us decides what success means to us. And for me, a little formula for success is in 4 quadrants, right? So I have potential here, and I have action here, right? So we have potential, action. Here we have the results, and here we have the belief, right? So if I have potential, every human being, every one of us, you, me, Shadrach, everyone watching us tonight, or who will find this later, we all have potential. But what action are we taking to give us these results that we want? Now, a lot of us get lost here in this corner where we have belief. And that's where, for me, the clarity is. Do you actually believe that you're capable? You know, when we started the year, we're very excited, but excitement, like you have said, motivation is beautiful. It's a wonderful thing, right? But when you don't act on it, it can be very useless. It's just emotions that you are feeling, and it goes away. But if you have a strong belief and you have that clarity why you're doing something, you exponentially increase your probability to actually achieve it. So for me, the first one would be clarity. I feel like when you're clear about what you're doing, it increases the probability of discipline and
Fantastic.
success. Yeah. So over to you. What's your second one?
I think before I know about myself, I like what you mentioned, clarity. A lot of people don't have clarity in their dreams, in their goals.
Yeah.
It's like there's confusion. It's like haze. When the weather is hazy, it's a lot of haze, fog. It's foggy kind of. So they have foggy kind of dreams. There's no clarity, and they have no. I like what you said about clarity gives you direction. So my second discipline, Abupe, has been ego management. All right.
That's a good one.
Why I talk about this one, there's a certain confidence that comes with money. There's this kind of confidence that comes with money, and if you don't even realize you have it, other people will see it. There's a way money gives you some confidence that you didn't really understand. If you are given a movie to watch of what you've been doing, you'll be shocked. All right. And also ego management for me has been another discipline, because I realized something very important this year. I said, you know what, I will not let anything get in the way of doing something genuinely to provide for my family. I will not let my ego get in the way of my success. Sometimes we neglect small jobs because of that ego that we have. You understand? I can't push a wheelbarrow. I can't do ABCD. I can't do blah blah blah. Partly because we feel we have maybe we are more qualified, we have a lot of money, or maybe because of the reputation. What do people think of me? Sometimes because we also have an inflated view of ourselves. So that also may impair your chances of succeeding in your life or in whatever it is that you're doing, because you have that big ego. So ego management, the more you begin to grow, you begin to build an audience, you begin to have people calling you, giving you feedback, giving you, a lot of, sometimes people will praise you for something that you say that helped them change their life. Sometimes it can get to your head.
True.
Right? And once you fail to recognize that fact, you've lost it all. You've lost it. So I've been able to be helped a lot when it comes to ego management. I've said, you know what? I'm going to humble myself. If there's a job to do to provide for my family, that is legitimate. It's not stealing, it's not breaking the law. I'm going to go and do it. I'm better off having my hands dirty and make clean money than having my clean hands and make that money. So what I've done, I've said I'm gonna manage my ego. No, ego has made people to become more broke. Right? Some people will give them a job, they have no job, they say I don't like it. And I'm gonna tell you this. I have a person that I helped to get a job, and I was so hate. I spoke on behalf of this person to somebody who was employing a lot, and they were supposed to be getting paid the 6,000. This is a person who had no job, Bobe, zero job, and I spoke on this person's behalf. They were given a job. They rejected the job because of a title. They didn't like the title. Now it's not like somebody who has the money. I've been there before. I was given an opportunity some time back. I didn't like the title, and I said no. But for me, I said no because I have a job. I have something I'm doing. Now this is a person who has no job. They have no job. They are broke. They have no money. They rejected the job because they didn't like the title. Right?
Okay.
They rejected it. That is ego, Bupe.
Yeah.
So it got
Pride.
in the way of the person being able to provide for their family. Pride kicked in. So when you don't manage your ego, it turns into pride. It is good to have some good measure of self-esteem, but don't let it get into your head. Like I say, self-esteem is knowing that you have value. Pride is showing that you have value. There's a difference. The moment you begin to show that you have value, that's pride. The moment you begin to recognize that you have value, that's self-esteem. So there's a difference. So sometimes when you don't manage your ego, the way you view yourself, it may get in the way of you providing for your family. You fail to do lesser jobs because you think, I'm from Ziale. I have done Ziale, and because Ziale is respected, I can't push a wheelbarrow. I can't sell salaola. You understand? So that can get into your head, and you fail to provide for your family. And these are the things that a lot of us, I think, have suffered with. And I know I have a few friends who are accountants like myself. They say, "You know what? I'm an accountant. I can't work as a cashier." But you have no job.
Okay.
Why don't you go? Right now, I met a friend of mine 2 months ago. He works at a filling station in Chilulu Garden. He's a qualified accountant, but he works as a guard. I went to the fuel, then I saw him. And then I called him. Oh, my friend, no, I'm working here. They said, this is good.
Yeah.
Then I packed and we had lunch together because I felt so motivated. It is the mindset we need. This guy has accepted the situation. He's qualified. He's educated. He has a master's, but he's a guard.
Yeah.
So I thought that discipline means, don't lose opportunities unnecessarily. If it's something to change your life, don't let your ego come in the way of doing something that can make you provide for your family. So that's one thing I did, and I've done this year, and it has really helped. I've taken up some smaller jobs that I never used to take up last year. I've gone to some interviews I never used to go last year, because now I'm saying, you know what, I'm going to take every opportunity that comes. If it's genuine, I'll take it up. I won't reject an opportunity because I think I'm bigger than the opportunity. No, every coin counts. Yeah.
I love that. Yes, before I get into my second one, for your friend though, that's very interesting. I mean, and I agree with you for sure. Humility is such an important virtue to have because, it will sit you in very many great places. Like, don't wait to be, don't put yourself at a level where you are not, like wait to be called. I think there's a proverb like that. Let the king call you. It's better to be called up than to be moved away from a place where you're not. But I was just thinking about your friend. Your friend has a master's. I think that's something you can sit down and talk to him about, for instance, doing some tuition as part-time work. I think there's a lot of things he can do, for instance, with his skills and his knowledge, not to quit the job, but there's a lot of other ways that he can use his knowledge to earn him some extra cash. But kudos to him for taking on that job. And for sure, I agree with you. Like, humility brings people money. It sits people in many great places. And there's a lot of examples we could give about that. My number 2 is being intentional, right? I'm not sure if I should say intentional or deliberate, but because of my acronym for tonight, CIA, I think I'm going to go with intentional, right? First, I'm clear, and then I'm intentional with what I do, right? I show up every day very intentionally, right?
Yeah.
So, like you had said, motivation is nice. And like you said, motivation is taking action. So, every day I wake up, I am very intentional with what I do. It's not about how I'm feeling. If there's something that I need to do, I'll have to get it done or whatever, which links into my last point. But like, intention is a very big thing. Like when I'm clear about
Yeah.
what I need to do and the why, I get up and do it. If I'm having a conversation with you, I'm paying attention to what you are saying. I'm getting to know you. What is it about you? Because I know that whatever it is I learn about you, I can build upon that, build a better relationship, and that will contribute to the greater goal that I have. So intention, I'm very intentional. I had intentional a few, I don't know if it's weeks ago or like last week, I had talked about on my page about how I'm very what was that I say? I forget now. About stubborn about the goal, right? I'm stubborn about the goal, and it links in very well with what you just said. I'm stubborn about the goal, but very flexible with my methods in getting there. So I'm very intentional. I show up where I need to be, and I'm fully present there, and it's not even dependent on how I'm feeling, right? So I pay attention. For instance, if my body is not feeling well and I need to rest, I am intentional about that. Like yesterday, I came home and I was in bed at 19:30, literally woke up this morning. If I need to work, if I need to show up for the Truth and Transformation podcast, I have to think about what is my part, what am I supposed to contribute to the
Yeah.
success of truth the Truth and Transformation podcast, because I don't take it lightly. It's not about how many people are showing up, right? I'm very intentional.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Yeah.
one person or two people or 100 people, I try to bring my A game. I'm very, very intentional. And you'll find that
Yeah.
when you're intentional, it fuels you. It fuels
Yeah.
you rather than keeping a perspective of what if it doesn't work. What, like, I
Yeah.
remember the first time before I started doing lives, I was more scared about what if no one shows up to, to the live. That would be so
Yeah.
embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, what if one person shows up to the live, what difference am I making in their lives, right?
Yeah.
So it's that intention that I show up with, and it fuels me, because like you had said, the more you do this, the more people start to value what you are doing, and you get
Yeah.
feedback, and people are telling you what you did for me, it helped me in this way, and it's valuable. You find that
Yeah.
that now starts to fuel your fire. So it
Yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah.
you don't gain confidence, you don't wait to gain confidence. You start doing things, being intentional about it, and then confidence builds, and then you are fueled to be disciplined rather than the reverse of that. So I'm very intentional. Just I
Exactly.
show
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
intentionally.
That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. Showing up, that's great, my friend. I think I like that.
Yeah.
Being intentional. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
more intentional this year.
You already said you were, though, and I can see it, and I'm happy about that, and I'm proud of you for that, friend. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. We're feeding off
Yeah.
that energy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. All right.
Yeah.
So my third discipline this year has been change. All right, change management. See, change comes with it. Sometimes change comes from the least expected times.
Hmm.
Sometimes life happens. So
Yeah.
I've learned to embrace change because either ways
Yeah.
change will come.
Hmm.
Now change for me has two sides. Ruben.
Yeah.
One side is that sometimes the economy may change.
Yeah.
All right, things in the economy may stop moving the way they are moving. Maybe you may make losses. Maybe you may stop making the money that you're making right now. Maybe something, maybe it may be good change, it may be bad change, all right? Coming
Yeah.
from outside, external change.
Yeah.
But also change may also be required within. You have to
Yeah.
change yourself, change your behavior. All right. So now I've said, okay, fine, I'm going to accept change either ways, change of personal behavior, all
Hmm.
right, and also change that comes from outside. Because the inability to manage and accept change is what has led people to just fall down. There's a book called Who Took My Cheese, all right? Some other
Lovely.
guy, could not accept change. He cried over that for a very long time. His friends moved on, they succeeded. He remained there up until he died, trying to cry over lost cheese.
Yeah.
So I've accepted that, sometimes life does not always give you a happy ending, even though you've done the best that you could. But it's not okay to refuse to accept change. Even when nothing seems to be working out, accepting change may help you find other ways of doing things better than you thought. And sometimes you may surprise yourself. When you accept change, sometimes like taking up a challenge, all right? You may learn other ways of doing things and other beautiful qualities about yourself you never thought you had. Refusing to accept change is refusing to grow. Today I was watching the session that we did last year, and you said you said a quote from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. You said people who avoid risks also avoid success.
Success.
That's what you said. So I said, oh wow, this is a good point. People that avoid this also avoid success. It's the same thing with avoiding change. People that avoid change also avoid success. Sometimes success means you have to embrace the change because change may lead you to what is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it may not work out, but it's best that you try it. And one thing I love about change would be that sometimes, if there are, for example, there are two things you're supposed to do. You have to make two decisions, and you've always made this decision. Sometimes when you decide to do something different, the comfort that you would never know how the other decision could have turned out. You would never know. So embracing change has helped me a lot to grow and also to think in a different way. Because now when something happens that I didn't expect, I accept. I don't get over disappointed with people, but also with myself. I would beat myself up for failing to do something, but now I'm accepting, you know what, things happen. If someone does something, I say, no, people change. Economies change, business change. You may stop making the money you're making today, tomorrow. Life changes. So change also helps downgrade. There's some things that I would spend money on now. I'll change. You see, not I'm going to be spending. Let me downgrade. I've accepted the change. All right. Okay. The economy is like this. I have to change my lifestyle. That I've accepted without feeling bad about it. In the past, you'd feel bad when the economy is bad. You are broke. Things are bad. You feel so depressed. You're out of place. It's like money gives you that motivation to go. But now I say, not just a phase to pass. I will still have. It's all right. Accepting change has really helped me to remain disciplined. People don't accept change, they become impatient. And once you're impatient, it becomes difficult to be disciplined. Once you are in this, you lose discipline, it becomes difficult to commit to your goals. Once you are unable to commit, you can't act upon those goals. Before you know it, a year has passed, you've achieved nothing.
It's gone. Love it. Love it. Yeah, for sure. I really, really like that. See, I even got lost. I'm like just listening. I just need to be taking notes. Yeah, but that's so true. That's so true about change because change is inevitable. But the point that I really liked is the part where you're accepting of change, right? A lot of the time we struggle with loss, whether it's the loss of a human being, the loss of a business, the loss of a pet, the loss of a job. In the process of grief, until we get to the place of acceptance, we're imprisoned, right? Because we can't see the possibility. And the question we always ask where we get stuck, a lot of us, I've been stuck there before, is why? Like, why me? Why this? Why now? Right? When we're not accepting of change, we are close to possibilities. But I feel like there's still another level just above change, which you touched on, where you decide to thrive, where you say, yes, this is the situation now, but I know it can get better. It's been better before. It can get better, right? I know. And then when you get to that level, you open up your mind to a world of possibilities. And every time I'm going through a process of grief, I'm always like, I need to get to acceptance so that I can get to that next level where you thrive. When you get to a place of acceptance, then you're like, okay, what was good about what I learned. Because like in every bad situation, I'm so sorry, I just love that point you brought. In every difficult situation, if you lost a job, right, you got fired today, and like I respect the process of grief, it looks different on everyone and the time it takes, and I respect that. But when you get to a place of acceptance, you've gotten to a place where you can ask yourself, what was good about the job, right? I got experience, right? If you had never had that job, there's experience you would have never gotten. What is good
Yeah.
about having lost a job? You created networks with people who you had not known. So just because you had a
Yeah.
fight with one person that caused you to lose a job does not mean that you have lost every other network unless you just have a bad attitude, right? So you've
Yeah.
created networks, you've acquired experience, you've learned, your world was opened to a new space that without that job you would have never known that space. Okay, so the
Yeah.
question is, what can you do with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, what can you do with all that wealth of experience, the networks you have created, the new environment that you have known? What can you do with that to make good for you? It may not
Yeah.
necessarily be another job, but like we were just saying about your friend, we're in the social media space now. How can you market yourself and this value that you have now? How can people know about you so that
Yeah.
you can create something for yourself? So that's what I like about when you say, when you get to a place where you are accepting of change, it's not making you miserable because you don't have money anymore, but you're looking, maybe if it's a broken relationship, right? What did it
Yeah.
teach you? What can you carry to the next relationship to make it better? It couldn't have been all bad, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many things. When you experience loss and you get to a place of acceptance, the only next step that people fail to do is to get to the next level where you thrive, where you sit and think about what was good about it and what can I carry out of it? What can I celebrate about it and what can I let go of? So I really love that
Yeah.
point that you. I'll quickly get into my number 3, which is action. So my
Yeah.
CIA was clarity, intention, and action. Shadrach, I believe in taking massive action. And
Yeah.
it's not just about the results, but it's just even how the science shows that when you take action, right, it puts you in a great state. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
when you're depressed? Have you ever seen a depressed person? Like if you're someone who is not depressed in the clinical mental health sense, but in the more, if you're having a bad day, for instance,
Yeah.
you're not exactly jumping around. You're most likely slouching, you're
Yeah.
looking down, you're not smiling, right? But for me, taking action is a big thing. Like even when I show up to talk to you or when you call me, I will most likely answer, "Hi, Shadrach,"
Yeah.
because I believe in just taking, whether it's small actions or big actions, I just believe in taking massive action because that's what discipline requires. And the reason we're having this conversation tonight is for that transformation where we're like, look, yes, the year has started to happen. Yes, things may not be going your way, but what can you do to keep that momentum? Take action. Smile. I don't know how many muscles we have on the face, and just that simple act of smiling, it changes how you feel, right? In your
Yeah.
body, it changes how you feel. The fact that you decide not to sit like this, but to sit like this, to take a power position, that's action. The fact that you decide to wake up early in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to read, I'm going to make that call today. Those things that scare you, like I was saying, starting lives was very difficult for me because I had fear. But I said, you know what, we're going to take uncomfortable action. And that's how you and I started
Yeah.
these conversations. So imagine if I had never taken that action, we wouldn't be doing truth and transformation. And there's so many comments we get privately and even here about how people appreciate our conversation. So imagine that there's those people, no matter how few, no matter how many, who would never have had that privilege because I had decided I wasn't going to take uncomfortable action. So I believe in taking massive action, small, big, towards my goal. So first I get clear about what I want to do. Then I'm very intentional, being present, showing up, and then I just go like every day. I take advantage. For instance, taking advantage of tools like, what you call that tool for me, which has been a lifesaver. That's where you plan your content, where you schedule your content. Yeah. So where I plan all my content in advance so that when I need to rest, I know the content will keep going up and to the world I'm showing up, right? But I can rest. So it's just taking advantage of those things and just taking massive action. I just show up when I need to show up, and I try to show up intentionally and happily. So those are my 3 that are keeping me going so far in the year. I'm clear, intentional, and taking action.
CIA.
I am the
That's
CIA,
great.
yo.
Upe, you've spoken to me. You've spoken to me. I'm so happy about what you've said, and you know the issue
Always
about
a great
action.
conversation.
You
Yeah.
know, it reminds me for the first time in a long time. The other day, I watched a football match between
Yep.
Arsenal and what team was this? Yeah, this team,
I
which is
haven't watched that. Arsenal is my team, but after we lost so much, I just don't watch anymore.
there's a team from England that played Arsenal. This team did not play very well. I'm not a football fan, but
Yeah.
what team was this? Somebody tell me in the comments. Arsenal was playing
Yeah,
a
let us
team.
know.
Arsenal was playing a team 2 years ago. Now this team, you know, as did not have much possession of the ball.
Yeah.
Arsenal had 64% possession of the ball. All right.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, Man City, Manchester
Is it
United,
Man
yes.
City?
Manchester United, yes. Manchester City,
Oh,
yes.
Man City. Yeah.
Manchester City was at 36% ball possession. Arsenal
Really? I'm
was
just looking
at
at the score.
Arsenal was at 64% ball possession. But you know what happened? Arsenal still lost the game because they had no one to score. Yes, thank you so much, Derek. That's Manchester City. Yes.
Thank
These
you,
guys
Derek.
had 6% possession. Arsenal had 64% possession. Arsenal couldn't score. These guys were able to score. And because they were able to score, they won. So I was saying you can set nice goals. You have nice, beautiful goals written down. If you don't take action, you get the same result. Like Arsenal did. They did everything right. They dribbled, they ran, they passed, they did everything, they defended. But eventually, they were scored. Even with all that 64% possession, they still lost because they had no one to score. They had one shot on target. One shot on target. How do you win? They're just making passes, all right? Just passes, but not scoring. Their friends had 6 shots on target, and out of those 6 shots, 3 were goals. Them, they're just one shot on target, the whole game. You can imagine.
That's insane. Too bad.
It's very important. Taking action, massive action is key. And I'm very grateful for tonight's session.
As am
I will be more grateful. And thank you so much to our audience for joining us. You know, we appreciate your coming. And we want to tell you, Wupe as the CIA, I talked about, Wupe talks about quality, intentional, and massive action. You remember, what has ultimately say has been, of course, commitment, ego management. Can you say the last one, Wupe? Change.
Change, and that was my favorite one, man.
So mine is CEC, all right?
Yeah,
commitment, ego, and change. So those 3 have really helped us to become more disciplined. So guys, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Wupe, any last remarks as we close?
Yeah, no, just a big thank you. We are back, and we will be doing more of these, and we look forward to seeing you, and we hope to have more interactive sessions with you, because obviously we don't have all the answers. So yeah, we look forward to more interactive sessions together so that we can exchange.
And guys, just a request, please share our videos, but because we're having some restriction from Facebook for distribution. So when we go live, our page is not being visible. We have been told we have a community violation. So our page has been restricted. Only few people can see what we post now up until May. So share so that other people can see. Yeah. So guys, thank you very much. May God bless you, my friend. Thank you so very much. Regards to Big Mose.
Will
I'll
do.
definitely.